Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss the concept of highest common factor, that is HCF. As its name indicates, that it includes the concept of common factors. In our previous lectures, we have discussed in details about the concept of common factors. Here we start from the definition. Here we start from the definition of HCF, as we get the clarity of a concept by its definition by means of examples. So, it is defined as HCF of two or more numbers, two or more numbers is the largest common factor. Is the largest common factor. That means whenever we have to find the HCF of any two numbers, then we consider only the largest common factors out of the multiple common factors or multiple factors of the two numbers. Okay, now there are some conditions that are required for calculating the HCF of two numbers. Let's discuss them one by one. Okay, for the HCF, the first condition is we should have two or more numbers. It means whenever we are going to find the HCF, we must have two or more numbers. We cannot find the HCF of a single number as it is obvious. The second condition is we should have the factors of the two numbers. Factors of two numbers of which we are going to find the HCF. We must have the factors. Okay. The third condition is the common factors. Then we must have the common factors of the two numbers that are common in both. And the last condition that is required is the highest of those common factors. Highest of common factors. Highest of common factors in order to evaluate the HCF of two numbers. It means if all these four conditions met, then then at the end what we get is the HCF of two numbers. Okay, now we will discuss its concept through definition, through example, as it is the best way to understand any concept. Let's take an example. If we have to, for example, the question is find HCF of 36 and 24. How you will solve it? Let's have its solution. We will have the solution. Again, keep those four conditions that we have discussed before in your mind. First, you should have two numbers. Okay, condition 1 was two numbers. Okay, one is 36 and the other is 24. The second condition is we should have their common factors. Okay, so we will find its factors, like 36 have 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, 12, 18 and 36. How we find these factors, we will discuss it in few minutes. But for the timing, you must focus on the concept of HCF, that how we can find the HCF. Now 24, the factors of 24 are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 12 and 24. Okay, now the third condition is we have to find the common factors. Okay, so the common factors are 2. These are common, this is common in both of them. Then 3, then 6. Okay, then we have 12, it is common in both of them, and that's it. So this was the third condition that is required to find the HCF. Now the fourth condition is to find the highest common factors. Now it is obvious from here that 12 is the highest common factor. So we can say that common factors are 1, 2, 3, 6 and 12. But highest common factor is the HCF is 12. Okay, so hope so you understand the concept of HCF through this example. Now let's come towards the methods that can be used to find out the HCF. Let's discuss it in detail. Methods of HCF. There are basically two methods of HCF. There are two methods of HCF that we will discuss one by one. Method number one is by prime factorization. Prime factorization. We have discussed the concept of prime factorization in our previous lecture thoroughly. Okay, so in this method, what we have to do, for example, we will understand its concept by means of an example. We have to find the HCF of 72 and 48. For that purpose, we must have the prime factors of both 72 and 48. Again, we revise the conditions that are required for finding the HCF, that we must have two numbers. First of all, we have must have two numbers, so we have two numbers 72 and 48. Then we must have the prime factors of 72 and 48. Let's find its prime factors. It's 72, 2, 36, 2, 18, 2, 9, 3, 3, 3, 1. And the factors of 40, prime factors of 48 is 2, 2, 6, 2, 3, and 3, 1. So these are the prime factors of 72 and 48. Now we will find their common factors. So for the sake of common factors, we will write as factors of 72 and factors of 48 in a way so that we can easily match them together. Factors of 72 are 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 3, and the factors of 48 are 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2 and multiplied by 3. Now we have to find the common factors. Let's encircle them. This is the common factor, this is the common factor, this is the common factor, and this is the common factor. Now for these were the common factors. The common factors are 2 into 2 into 2 into 3. That is this one, this one, this one, and this one. So these are the common factors of 72 and 48. But for the sake of HCF, we must have the highest common factors. So the HCF of 72 and 48 will be the product of these common factors. Now one question that comes into your mind here is that why we have not considered only the 3 as the highest common factors, as 3 is the highest one. This is because that we have a common factor, that is 2, repeating 3 times. So when a certain factor is repeating multiple times, then we take the product of these factors to find out the HCF. So HCF comes out here is 2 into 2 into 2 into 3 equals to 24. So here we have the HCF of 72 and 48, that comes out 24. This was the method number 1 of finding the HCF by means of prime factorization. Now we discuss the next method by means of an example to understand its concept thoroughly. Method number 2 for finding the HCF, that is called long division method. Long division method. Don't be afraid of this word long division method. Basically the difference between the two methods is the method of prime factorization was used for two-digit numbers, or you can say for smaller numbers, but long division method is used for large numbers, used for large numbers, or large numbers like three-digit numbers. Okay, so we use long division method for large numbers so that you can easily evaluate the HCF. So that you can easily evaluate the HCF by using this by using long division method in a very short time. Otherwise, by means of prime factorization, you will have to find the factors, and while finding factor, it takes too much time. Now let's start discussion on the how. For example, you want to find the HCF of 928 and 324. 928 and 324, right? So what we will do here, we will write it as in the form of division by keeping the largest number inside and the smallest one in the smallest one outside. We can write it as by division like 324 2s are 648, and here we have 280. Now here we discuss few terminologies so that you can easily understand the concept of this method. Here one thing is what you have to keep in your mind. This is called the quotient. This is called the remainder. Okay, this is called the remainder. This is called the divisor. Okay, and this is called the dividend. Okay, now the purpose of discussing these terminologies here is to understand this method thoroughly, because in the next step of this method we have to exchange these digits, exchange these positions like position of divisor and the remainder. Let's discuss. So let's take an example by keeping these concepts in mind. Here we have to find let's take the last example again, where we have to divide 928 with 324. Three 928 with 324. First of all, 324 2s are 648. Here the remainder is 280. Okay, in this method what you have to do is make this remainder a divisor, and this old divisor the dividend. It means 324 will come here. Okay, so 281 were 280. Okay, here the remainder is 44. Again, what you have to do is bring this number here, that is 280, and the 44 becomes the divisor. Now 44 6 are 264, and the remainder is 16. Then we have again bring this here is 44, and we have to consider it the divisor and the remainder as the we have to consider 44 the dividend and 16 as the divisor. So 16 twos are 32, and we have 12. Again bring this 16 here, 12 1 are 12, 4, and finally 12 here, 4 3s are 12, gives 0. What we have done is we have bring this here. Okay, so this was the concept of long division method for large number when you want to find the HCF. So we can say here that HCF of 324 and 928 is 4. So this was the concept of HCF, finding HCF by means of long division method. Hope so you understand the concept of HCF, what is HCF, its definition, and how we have to evaluate the HCF of two numbers by using both the methods, that is prime factorization and by means of long division method. Thank you.